I'm going to talk about 4 I's today. I'll talk about inequality, inequity, injustice, and I. I in the sense you and I and everyone. Before we start the entire thing, I want to volunteer. I want to do a small little trick with you. So I need a volunteer. Anyone who wants to come on stage? Anyone? कोई भी एक volunteer चाहिए. जल्दी आइए. कौन आ रहा है? आइए come. Okay. What's your name?
Ankit Putra.
Ankit, just stand there. So Ankit, I'm going to ask you a few questions. ठीक है? और आपको उसके जवाब देने. सिंपल सवाल होंगे, स्कूल वाले सवाल होंगे, फिर बच्चे वाले सवाल पूछो. And you just have to give me simple answers. I don't open that right now.
Okay,
How many months do we have in a year?
Months.
कितने होते हैं? 12. उसमें से कोई सा भी 6 चुन लीजिए जो आपको बहुत पसंद है. कोई सा भी 6 महीना चुन लीजिए इन 12 में से. Any 6. You have to tell me.
January, February, March, April, December, November.
Okay. Jan, Feb, March, April, November and December. So क्या बच गया? May, June, July, August, September, October.
Yes, sir.
May, June, July, August, September, October में से कोई सा भी 4 चुन लीजिए जो आपको बहुत पसंद है. कोई सा भी 4.
जो बचे हैं
Keep it quick. Yes.
September, October, May, June.
May, June, September, October में से कोई सा भी 2 चुन लीजिए जो आपको बहुत पसंद है, जो आपकी fond memories रहे हों अच्छे.
September, October.
तो क्या बच गया? May and June. Out of May and June, choose any one that you really like.
May.
May. What is left is
June.
June. How many days do we have in June? 30 days, right? 30 days में से कोई सा भी 20 चुन लीजिए जो आपको बहुत पसंद है. Any 20. You have to be quick. We don't have much time. कोई सा भी 20 दिन चुन लीजिए. कोई सा भी. बता दो ना एक साइड से.
1 से 20 सर.
1 से 20. इनमें से कोई सा भी 10 चुन लीजिए.
11 से 20.
11 से 20. क्या बच गया? 1 से 10, right? Out of 1 to 10, choose any 6 that you really like.
1 to 3.
1 to 3.
7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9. तो क्या बच गया? 4, 5, 6 and
10.
4, 5, 6 and 10. Out of 4, 5, 6 and 10, choose any 2 for yourself.
4, 5.
4, 5. 4 and 5 में से वो कागज दीजिए मुझे. एक अपने लिए चुनिए और एक मेरे लिए चुनिए.
अपने लिए 4, आपके लिए 5.
मेरे लिए क्या चुना आपने?
5.
Okay, let's see. So this is June 5, right? Okay, move on. So what happened right now? तो क्या हुआ? Was there any magic? What was it? It was no trick. Do you think there was some mathematics? Was there any technology there? Was there any पहलवानी there? नहीं. कैसे हुआ? So it was about I already wrote June 5 on that sheet of paper and kept pushing your Ankit to that date without he even realizing that he's being manipulated. He was pushed to the wall. He thought he was deciding. It was me who had already decided and kept pushing him to choose what I wanted to choose him. That is something that constantly keeps happening in our life. We are manipulated all the time in different situations, be it work, चाहे काम का क्षेत्र हो, चाहे खेल का क्षेत्र हो, चाहे परिवार हो, चाहे कोई भी जगह हो, हर जगह हमारे चॉइसेस को मैनिपुलेट किया जाता है और हमें पता भी नहीं चल पाता है. हमें लगता है कि हम चुन रहे हैं लेकिन कोई हमारे बिहाफ पे ऑलरेडी चुन चुका होता है. मैं अगर आपसे सवाल पूछूं कि आप लोगों में से कितने लोग जीन्स पहनते हैं? How many of you wear jeans? All of you, almost all of you wear jeans. Why do you wear jeans? Because it is comfortable. One more reason. It's cool, right? So it's cool and it's comfortable. Imagine the most stupid answer that you could have actually found. Jeans is the most uncomfortable form of human dressing that God would have ever imagined. But we are made to believe by the market that it is actually comfortable. You can't stretch, as in, I also wear jeans, I'm not wearing jeans today. We can't stretch. You know, there's no air conditioning. You can't make out how many days would one have not washed his or her jeans. मतलब गलत जगहों पे टाइट रहता है, गलत जगह से फट जाता है. But we still think that jeans is actually comfortable. It's like the calendar game. Someone, and we don't know who told us. Who told the entire civilization that, listen, you should wear jeans. If you also talk about fashion and cool, most jeans look alike. There's 2 pockets here, 2 pockets there, and 1 tiny pocket here. Almost 70 to 80% jeans are blue in color. Stitches भी वही मोटे धागे के चलते हैं. मोड़ी जो है नीचे में पतली वाली होती है. सारी चीज सिर्फ वो जो पीछे जो एक लगा होता है ना, उसमें कभी ली लाई लू कुछ जो लिखा होता है, वही सिर्फ एक डिफरेंस है जीन्स की. So So we're talking about, we need to really understand as young people or as citizens that how our choice is manufactured, and what I was telling you about genes is about that. Now that's point number one, which is about choice. Now, I work with schools and I work with colleges with young people. A couple of weeks ago I was doing a workshop with a prominent school of Delhi. और हम सब ने पढ़ा है ना कि सारी civilization जो है नदी के किनारे होती है. There's a civilization next to a river, and the river is behind every civilization or whatever. So I was doing a small little workshop, and there were around 40 kids. In India we have around 16 river basins. तो मैंने उनको कहा कि ऐसा है कि आप लोग ना 40 लोग हो, अपना ग्रुप बना लो एक. जिस river basin से आप belong करते हो उसका आप अपना एक group बना लो. So some people made a small little Ganga group. So there was a lot of commotion. बहुत भगदड़ मच गई क्लास में कि भैया मेरी नदी कौन सी है. कोई एक किसने कावेरी का एक ग्रुप बनाया. There was a young boy. He walks up to me and says, "Sir, I don't know which river basin." And he used to be an introvert actually. कभी बात नहीं करता था क्लास में वो. मेरे पास आता है और कहता है कि "Sir, I don't know which river basin do I belong to. I think I belong to tap water basin." And you won't believe that out of 40 people, almost 20, 25, 23 of them actually joined this group. Because nobody knew which river basin did they belong to. Because we all, in fact, if I did the same workshop with you guys and asked you which river basin do you actually belong to, you'd say Syntax basin or tap water basin or Bisleri basin or something else. So let's understand that we all live in a superficial world. It's important to have a smartphone and a smart shirt and a smart shoes, but it's also as important to understand the relevance, significance of these smaller, insignificant things like a river or water. The reason why we need to understand the significance of these things is that we can live without many other things, or perhaps our progress could be delayed because of several of these things. If I did not have a smartphone, perhaps it would take me 2 days to really read an email, go to office and then read an email. Right now it blinks the moment I receive an email. But imagine if there was no water or there was no river. And if you want to compare the two things that we talk about. The other very important when we talk about ecology is about what is visible and what is not visible. Now we all know that for us, symbol of progress is about how fancy or how broad our road is. There's a very interesting story about someone, which I'm actually quoting from somebody else. It's not my story actually. So there was a teacher when we were all kids. So I'm saying we, आप लोगों को थोड़ा बेवकूफ बनाने के लिए. तो उनका एक छोटा सा किचन गार्डन था. तो उसमें वो गाजर की खेती करती थी वो टीचर. बहुत मतलब ठीक ठाक थी. कभी कभी डांटती थी हमें, लेकिन अच्छी टीचर थी वो. हम लोग क्या करते थे ना, वहाँ पे उनके घर पे जाते थे, उनके अमरूद बाकी चीजें तोड़ लेते थे. एक सीजन में हमने क्या किया कि हमें गाजर बहुत पसंद था. सो व्हाट वी डिड, वी वेंट एंड उनके गाजर का हमने उखाड़ करके अंदर का पूरा निकाल लिया, और अभी पूरा का पूरा मैच्योर नहीं हुआ, तो मतलब उखाड़ने में टाइम था, और वापस हमने सिर्फ ऊपर वाला सारा चीज वो वापस डाल दिया. एंड दिस वीक एवरी डे वी टू डू 3-4 करके हम लोग करते थे. पता चला कि हमने, और सबको पता, बाकी दोस्तों को भी पता चल गया, तो सबने मिल करके सारे के सारे पूरा का पूरा खेत जो था, मतलब उनका जो छोटा गार्डन था, वो देखने में हरा था, लेकिन अंदर से उसका सारा का सारा गार्डन जो था वो गायब था, और वो हर रोज पानी उसमें देती थी. This is what is also happening with our world right now. What you see, the cosmetics of a park or cosmetics of road and infrastructure cannot really replace the core of our environment. We need to really understand that what is visible is not really the only indicator. There's a lot that is actually important for our sustenance, for our development, for our progress, and ecology plays a very, very important role. Just because you see green कैरेट के पत्ते अगर आपको ऊपर दिखते हैं, तो इसका मतलब कुछ नहीं है कि सब कुछ चंगा है. You also remember, I don't know, I'm sure people are from different paths. When we were all kids, when we studied how to draw, तो हमें पहाड़ बनाने के लिए कहा जाता था. तो हम लोग कैसे बनाते थे? उसमें पहाड़ बनाते थे, बीच से एक सूरज निकलता था, और चिड़िया 3 होती थी, और एक नदी निकलती थी, और एक हट होता था, और एक नारियल का पेड़ होता था. I'm sure चाहे वो तमिलियन हो या हैदराबादी हो या फिर बिहारी हो या कहीं हो, हर जगह, एंड दूसरे देशों में भी ऐसे ही ड्राइंग सिखाया जाता था. और इसके बाद फिर हमें कलर करने कहा जाता था कि आप पहाड़ को काला कर दो, इसको ब्राउन कर दो, पत्ते को हरा कर दो, नदी को ब्लू कर दो. Right now, when you go and teach your kids, perhaps that's a scientific way to teach how to draw, but do we actually have blue rivers left in our country? We do not. So therefore, why do we actually teach our kids in our drawing classes to paint it blue? Because there's no blue river. How many of you have actually seen a blue river? In Delhi, have you seen a blue river? Or otherwise also. So we see a blue river in a scenery, and that's what. But do you drink water? Or do you drink Coca-Cola? We drink water. Where does that water come from? We don't know where it comes from. If you ask people, where do you get your water? So we are a very disconnected generation right now. We're connected, we are wired, but we are very, very disconnected. So the definitions have to change. There's no blue river that we talk about. At the same time, when we talk about what's the impact of this? So one is ecological impact of damage, and the other is the social impact of all this damage. At whose cost are we actually ruining up our environment? So one is, of course, we get asthma and all kinds of things, or there's bad environment in the air. लेकिन हमारे बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि 90% रिसोर्सेज जो है हम कंज्यूम करते हैं इस देश के जो 10% पॉपुलेशन है, और हमें लगता है कि उन गरीबों को, if you ask people that why are people are poor because they are lazy and they don't have a right to grow. It's okay for rural India to not have access to electricity. So we need to really understand wastage or usage of resource and environmental resource or other resource in the in the context of distribution of resource also. When we talk about ecology, it is not just about romance of a blue river or a great forest. It's also about at whose cost are you ruining the environment? Is someone getting damaged? So when we actually read the newspaper and see that there are thousands of people who actually commit suicide every year by poverty or because of several reasons, one needs to think about it. We of course have many billionaires in our country. Every year we get new people adding up in that list of billionaires. तो बहुत सारे लोग अमीर हो रहे हैं, लेकिन बहुत सारे लोग इतने गरीब हो रहे हैं कि उनको जिंदा रहने की भी हिम्मत नहीं है. So one needs to really, when we all are studying in a university or trying to really make something for ourselves, we need to understand that discourse also. We need to understand why is that happening at the same time. Is that the real development that we all want to live in? Is that the real world that we want to live in? कि किसी के पास बहुत और किसी के पास कुछ नहीं. There are two models of development. सड़क पे जब हमें बहुत ट्रैफिक मिलता है तो हम क्या कहते हैं कि बहुत सारी सड़कें चौड़ी हो जानी चाहिए, संगीन है. There's two solutions to that, right? कि एक तो सड़क चौड़ी कर दो और दूसरा है कि कार कम कर दो ना. लेकिन हम करते क्या है, हम सड़क चौड़ी करते रहते हैं जितनी चौड़ी हो सकता है, मतलब 8 लेन की 16 लेन कर दो. लोग बहुत बीमार पड़ते हैं, इसके दो सोल्यूशन कि लोग बीमार ना पड़े, पब्लिक हेल्थ में थोड़ा इन्वेस्टमेंट हो, और दूसरा कि अस्पतालें और बने. हमारे देश में हम दोनों में से कुछ नहीं करते. But the solution should be to invest in public health. Infrastructure, we all as generation, as educated people, need to understand that infrastructure or building and real estate is not the only solution to all our problems. We have the market, this capitalist world, and this new economy keeps feeding us and telling us that to everything, solution is cement and rodi and patthar, और वो उससे आपके सारे issues का समाधान हो जाएगा. So that's the point that I wanted to make. I also want to tell you that this is the power of I. There's a reason why I'm wearing what I'm wearing today, the way I have mustache. That's my politics. The language that I speak, that's my politics. All of us have a stake in this. We cannot be passive recipients of whatever is happening. In this TED talk, you might be a listener, but when you go out of this room, you're not just a listener and someone who, you haven't come here for sightseeing. इस दुनिया में आप साइट सीइंग करने के लिए नहीं आए हैं, आपकी जिम्मेवारी बनती है, and you can change, as what you were saying, be the change. And for change, you don't need to be a Gandhi. Small change is also as relevant. Several small changes together will actually make the big difference, and all of us have the potential to really do that. So, of course, I will not put a CCTV camera in your bathroom to find out whether you save water or not. That will be very, very bad to do it. But you should you should, it's your own responsibility to really judge and take those steps. You're not doing it for academic reasons, you're not doing it because you'll get an award, you should do it because that is what your future is. Your politics is your future. Thank you.